Alright, here we are. We're doing blue-white control again without Nexus of Fate. Ironically, Nexus of Fate itself is probably the worst matchup. So instead of trying to beat them with Nexuses of our own, I'm doing Devious Cover-Up to just exile Nexus of Fate. I kind of forgot about this card, and that is probably the only card I can think of that really helps you beat them. Game 1, well, even Game 2, just blue-white in general doesn't have access to Unmoored Ego, so we're trying this. So instead of the Nexus, it's Devious Cover-Ups, more treasure maps, and I think that's all I changed since the last time I made a video about this deck. The sideboard doesn't have Nezahal, the whale. I brought in another Revitalize. I think that's all I've changed. Methinks, yeah. Lyra could still be something else. It's good against mono red. Well, yeah, kind of. It soaks a lot of burn, so I'd say it's good. And if they obviously can't kill it, you pretty much just win on the spot. But it's not good against Gruul because they have Collision Colossus, Vivian Reed, that you'd rather not, like, you know, allow Vivian Reed to produce that kind of value against you. Someone in chat was talking about Clear the Mind, so you could go infinite. Kind of another reason I liked Nexus of Fate, but you can kind of do that with Devious Cover-Up as well. Not necessarily more effectively, but going infinite is not really the game plan. It's just kind of ultimating to fairy, kind of like an Esper thing. But you have the Dawn of Hope, which I really am a huge fan of, so let's try it like this. Still no Dovin's Acuity, but I don't think I like that in best of 3. That'd be more like a best of 1 card. Where's the there it is. Ooh, what if I do a treasure constructed instead? Should we do that? It's only here for 2 days. Let's do it. Doing it. Let's do it. Let's do this. This seems more exciting. I forgot this was here. Alright, change the plan. I have no idea how this will go. I'm gonna assume, yeah, wait, Nexus of Fate I think is banned in this thing, so we don't have to deal with it. That's pretty cool. Should be exciting. Totally forgot about this construct. Oh wait, this is best of 1. This is best of 1. Lame. Lame. Yeah, I probably should have stuck to my what the hell does this thing do? Deals damage loot. Okay, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Do we turn to Dawn of Hope? It's not really doing anything, so I guess we'll pass. I don't really care if this hits me. Kind of curious of what my opponent's planning on here. If they try to Curious Obsession, then I might have to actually kill this. Or Blink of an Eye it. Okay. This is exciting. I guess this means I can play other decks too. I won't be seeing the same like 12 decks over and over. Another one? Sure. So my opponent's on the old loot plan. They got Murder in the grave. We got a boatload of sweepers that are extremely easy to cast. Also, Dawn of Hope actually blocks pretty well in this spot. Yeah, let's run this out and pass. I don't have access to my sideboard, so I'm actually kind of disappointed. This is only best of 1. Ooh, what is this? Rat Colony? Okay. So it's a what? They don't have any swaps. I don't understand. Okay, another murder. And an island. There's a swamp. Another. So this is a rat colony deck splashing loot shenanigans? I don't actually know what's going on. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're almost actually just dead. I'd rather use these treasure tokens more effectively than a Revitalize. Uh-oh. Guess we're passing. I mean, we can counter a rat. That's pretty good here. Don't know how many rats they have in hand. It seems like... well, they did loot a lot, so... Actually, they don't seem to have any rats in hand. That's nice. They're playing around what seems to be Settle the Wreckage. This saves us more than 3 damage, because this one gets smaller. I do not expect a counterspell. That'd be kind of crazy. Take 4 instead of a bajillion. These saboteurs seem pretty good for a rat deck, but I wonder what else. I gotta imagine there's more than this for their blue cards. Okay, opt. This also doesn't like generate card advantage, so where do I vote? Yeah, I know. Wait, wasn't that this week? How did that work? The Mythic thing was right now, wasn't it? Isn't it over? Can't be blocked by... Sure. Another rat colony. Okay, so they got lethal on board. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I need a sweeper. Oh my god, we've just not drawn one. Actually, we have Dawn of Hope tokens, so we're not totally dead. I guess I will just pass. Opponent has effectively capitalized on the treasure tokens more than we have. I didn't math out this deck with the tokens in mind you. Still respecting Settle the Wreckage, so it's a good time to make a token. They already got rid of 2 murders. Okay, well, I mean, got it, you got it. Counter that. They run out a... Oh, my bad. Opt. Tomorrow's the final 4. Nice. I haven't been watching it. My room has been under construction, so I've been bunking down and... Oh, I can't block. Why'd I even bother? I think we both forgot I couldn't block because of this thing. He tried to murder it. I tried to defend it. It didn't even matter. That's funny. So now we're actually in hyper desperation mode. Actually, we might just be dead. Guess I can see what we draw here. I need... They're still playing around Settle the Wreckage, actually. Oh my god, we drew it. Okay. That was really good. I could swing just to gain a life. Like, just bump into this. Go up to 9. I don't think that's too relevant. Opponent's still respecting Settle the Wreckage, though. Presenting lethal makes sense. Force this. They're playing around it, so I don't think they have a counter spell for it, because if they did, they would just swing all in. Probably more rats here. I really got to get this another saboteur. Ugh. At least these don't generate advantage, but they're typically gonna draw the card they want to draw every game. I'm gonna probably swing in with the token just to gain a life. Okay, that wasn't bad. Treasure map might be better than Revitalize. Don't know if we're gonna die next turn. Maybe something crazy could happen. I mean, this token really just isn't doing anything, right? Do we really need to go up to 9, though? I mean, we can just wait, right? Maybe they go a turn by swinging all out and not having a creature to block. I don't think 1 life's going to change anything. It's best of 1? The Mythic PAX East tournament was best of 1? Oh, that's right. It was best of 1, but you could, like, pick... You go in there with, like, 3 decks, and you, like... The first one's random, and then like the second one you can, I don't know. That's right, I forgot about that. It was weird because I looked into it. I tried getting into it myself, but nope, didn't quite get there. Unfortunate, but kind of expected because everybody and their mother was going for it. So like actually really good players that aren't Beasley. Let's get rid of this redundant Dawn of Hope. Could have countered that to gain some life. Maybe that was good enough. Okay, that... Good thing I waited. Prefer these saboteurs not really do much here, so... Then without cards in hand is nice. Gaining non-lethal on board is nice as well. Oh, 2 decks and the third one's where you choose? Yeah, okay. So it's kind of like best of one, except per player it's more random instead of like per matchup. Which just seems, I guess, quite as random. Devious cover-up. Day late and $1 short. I mean, it's probably never going to be good in this matchup, whatever's going on here. Opponent is 34 cards, but it tapped. Did not swing with this again, so there are... I guess it's actually gaining us more than 1 life a turn because they're not swinging with this. Let's run this out. Run this out and probably pass. Could actually start making tokens and start cracking back, but I don't think we're there yet. Opponent will almost always draw an impactful card with 2 saboteurs. Respect, settle the wreckage yet again. Chart of course again. Alright, well, can't let that happen. There's nothing I really want to... Actually, no, this and that, right? And I guess that. Yeah, that's actually good. I don't want the counter spells. The Chemister is not doing much if I shuffle it away, obviously, so... Shuffle in some actual threats. Let us scry. Looking for that. Looking for that. Alright, they're out of cards in hand, so once this happens, I think we just win. So we can swing, go up to 5. It's pretty telling once I snap off the attack here what I'm going to be doing. Also, another thing about Treasure Map is you can actually always have treasures for it. That's actually really good. I guess I lucked out when I have this in my deck. Yeah, Mastermind's Acquisition? Oh yeah, that's how I could actually get to my sideboard in this best of one strategy. That's funny. But we're not black. We're not black. But that is pretty cool. Actually, I get to draw a card as well. Oh, look at that. Forgot about that. Blow up the board. Probably just scoop from here, actually. Well, we've shown to not really have much going on, so they might not scoop. And it doesn't hurt to at least look what you're going to draw. It's the best card of all time. Okay. Literally drew the best card possible. Wow. And that's why you don't scoop. Because you draw 4 cards. Or, I'm sorry, 5 instead of 1. Okay. I guess they're immediately back in it, and we're back on the back foot again, I guess. I kind of want to blow this up, but I'd rather just wait, honestly. Maybe they'll run out a bunch of stuff that doesn't incentivize them to draw cards. It looks like we're just going to go to decking here. Like, my opponent might just run out of cards. They have to commit a lot to the board. Shouldn't be swinging. Okay, well. I clicked the wrong enchantment. That's my bad. Escanta? Do we want this? No, we have enough card draw between the 2 treasure things, so let's do this. Don't think my opponent realized I could do that. I don't think they wanted to attack with this. This is an amazing trade for us. I didn't expect this to be what was going to happen. I'm going to actually draw a card with these tokens. I think that's very important. Okay. So we get to sweep the board, and we got rid of their thing. Oh, another... Okay, Chart of course makes sense for the attack, actually. Wow, we might, like, go to decking. Those devious cover-ups might actually wind up doing something. I'm gonna go for Teferi. Looks like their kill spell for choice is Murder, so this is probably pretty safe.
But let's slow this down.
Sure. Just do this now, go away. Untap some lands. I'll just cycle this. Stop holding priority for no reason. Opponent has 24 cards left. And I imagine most of their deck is Rat Colony. With a pretty cool blue splash. I even like the spot removal spell, although I would pick a different one. Maybe this is a budget list though, so it's not too unreasonable of a choice. Okay. Well, they weren't totally screwed. Teferi could only -1 to the extent of their knowledge. They did not know our hand. And they didn't scoop last time. They were just completely out of cards. So that was very surprising. Alright, that was cool. I'm going to actually do a constructed event now. Because sideboard was half the reason I wanted to play this deck right now. I do not want to use gems because I started to use the gems to draft so I could start buying the because I'm a free-to-play account. I want to get the cool card arts, but I can't really do that without money or gems. But I do like Mastermind's acquisition. That's actually pretty cool. Also, I have a better deck that I would prefer to do the treasure event with. The one that actually got me these Chemist's Insights. It's like a weird 4-color spicy control thing with Vraska and Teferi. Enter tapped. There is one card I would change in it. I'll probably make a YouTube video out of it eventually. Okay. This is the first time I've seen the red sleeves. At least my opponent was playing a red deck, so they were doing it right. Now I want to get this out as soon as possible, but we need to draw lands, and I think that's very important. Our next turn is probably going to be a counterspell if we draw one, which means I really want to cast this. I'm just going to run this out now. Get this out of the way. These tokens could do something soon. I think we'll have time to cast a Cleansing Nova anyways. Let's hope there's no double light up the stage. There's always a light up the stage, that does not surprise me. Into 2 extremely castable cards. Doesn't surprise me either. Guess I'll run out this. Getting this online sooner. This kind of guarantees us the land drops, whereas Revitalize doesn't. Oh look, double light up the stage. What a surprise. Yeah, that's cool. Land, please. Devious cover-up's pretty bad here. I mean, it's a counterspell. It's not a land, but it does gain life, but I can do better. Don't think I'm gonna upkeep Scry. Don't think this is a need. Yeah, not really. Because we got the card draw anyways. Now we're really looking for a land, so Skewer in hand? Well, they're not going to respect anything anyways. Let's just snap this off. There's the land. So if we don't die right now, we can arguably stabilize, I guess. I don't know. I wonder if they cast both of these, or... Okay. I didn't think they would. At least not the Chain Whirler. Okay. Guess we're just at 2 now. Too late for a land. And the way they played, I assume their last card is something that would kill us. No, it's not. Okay. It will kill us next turn, though, once they untap with it, so I, like, actually do have to just Cleansing Nova it, right? Yeah. Can't make a token to block it, just sacrifices and pings me. So, yep. Guess it's a good thing if I did scry on my own upkeep, I would have put this at the bottom, which is funny. Every card in their deck kills us, I think. Cool. Well, that's what happens when you have double light up the stage. Called it too. These, that, this, negate over Devious Cover Up if anything. Teferi's doesn't seem good. Binding seems pretty good. I don't like Sabotage. Got a lot of 2-mana interact, well, sifty cards. Binding could do something actually. I don't know. Let's see. How do we look without it? I like all of these sweepers. Not so much Nova, but it still hits their stuff. Like Experimental Frenzy if they're running that. I don't know. Don't know. Don't even like Absorb here. I just don't like counterspells against such ridiculous aggressive stuff. I do kind of like Binding. I'm actually going to try Binding over Nova, I think. Cost 1 less. Maybe it can do something. Maybe that's wrong. Let's try it like that. Need to not have our opponent do double light up the stage. Okay, well, it's got a Lyra. No one drop. That's actually kind of mind-blowing. I don't know if that's good or bad. Probably really good. Pyromancer. Oh, no. Runaway Steam Capture. Counterspell I can't cast. Cool. Go away. Counterspell I could have cast eventually. Okay. Oh look, a light up the stage. Isn't that surprising? Oh look, double light up the stage. I guess I lose. Okay. Blink of an Eye could play here, but I need lands. No one respects Settler Wreckage, so at least that'll get him good somewhat. I also did not trigger Spectacle. Go away. Would be nice to cast Revitalize, but hitting a land is way too important. Okay. I guess I'll just Teferi minus on this. Could blow it up, but I don't really care about. I don't care about Teferi. Your opponent has no cards in hand. This just gains us way too much life for our opponent to deal with. And we know their top card costs more than 1 at least. Could be a land. Oh, well, no, actually, it wouldn't be a land. Okay, well they did that backwards. If they were planning on still killing Teferi, they should have just bolted Teferi and swung at me for 4, because Teferi was only at 1. So they did that a little backwards. I would prefer to keep these in hand. I mean, nothing else, nothing really matters. I've already won because I have a Lyra in hand play. They can't race this, and they can only cast 1 spell a turn. They can't kill Lyra. Yeah, nothing else matters if they just can't kill Lyra anyways. I can pretty much just lose my whole mana base and probably still win if they can't kill her. Now I do like binding. Seems as though the things I want to binding, Cleansing Nova hits anyways, but that means I'm not hitting my own enchantments. They are wary of Settle the Wreckage now. I don't really like Absorb anymore, especially on the draw. Almost prefer it to be negates. Absorb is life gain though, but we do have Revitalizes. Just want my deck to cost less and less. Like, Mission Briefing seems pretty good, actually. Can get back some other nonsense here. Maybe I'm getting a little too ridiculous, taking out that many counter spells. Yeah. I guess they're not bad. I can take out another Teferi. This game isn't super about Teferi, so it's hard to stick a Teferi, if not completely impossible. Try not to waste my time worrying about Teferi that much. Okay, we have a counterspell, treasure map, settle, chemisters. This hand is probably the best hand we've gotten in the match so far. Opponent's down to 5. Oh my god. At least they scryed on top. And they still have a 1-drop, so my sympathy is out the window. Oh, they're just going to curve out perfectly still. At least there probably won't be double light up the stage this game. Can't really play the Hollowed Fountain. I really want to run this out now. Okay. This is actually pretty bad. I think I'm going to counter this just to get this out of our hand, save some life, and we have a game plan next turn anyways. Kind of. I mean, it gets hit by the Settle the Wreckage, but I don't know. I'd rather not shock myself for Lyra, but it looks like I might have to. They can't really afford to play around Settle the Wreckage, at least, so this will get them. I don't want to put myself down to 10, but if there's no follow-up here, I'm going to assume Lyra was safe. They didn't cast a burn spell pre-combat. Looks like there's... Alright, sweet. That makes it easy. That makes it easy. Alright, do you have an answer or not? Not, I win. Nope. Could binding that just to bind... Oh, never mind. Found a better card. Let's scry. Sure. That's part of the game plan, right? Play this tap, swing, and pass. Alright, well they didn't have an answer to Lyra, so this game is, again, like game 2, all but over. Even a single hit is too much. And they're going to 2-for-1 themselves into an absorb, so... They found the answer, but, I mean, we just turned the answer right off with this. They actually... Ooh, well that was actually really backbreaking, because if they just had 1 mountain, they could have just cast an uncounterable Banefire. And I think in that spot, it was totally reasonable for them to actually wait for a mountain to kill this, in case I draw a counterspell, or had one. So, a bit of a... I'd actually say that's a misplay. You just have to accept that I'm gonna gain that much life, and there's nothing you can do about it. I think you want to guarantee kill Lyra, and it involves that Banefire for 6. Even with the Frenzy getting this online, I think you would just have to wait for a mountain. Oh, there's a top deck light up the stage. Actually, they have Lethal for Lyra. Found it. Lethal for Lyra. That's funny. Sounds like a sitcom. That was not a good 2 hits there. This is good, but I think we're past the we need life plan. This is what we were looking for. Now, we're going to lose Lyra. Opponent's going to go down to 5. But we can binding this. And I think that's better than pretty much anything else I'm planning on doing. I think... yeah. Alright, we're going to get rid of this, right? Yeah, we're going to get rid of this Experimental Frenzy. So let's do this. Teferi's good. A weird spot, but I think Teferi will play here. Binding the Frenzy. And pass. They can kill Lyra. They are at 5, so we didn't get them dead, but Lyra saved our life, obviously. Keep that. Fight this, crack this, get some clues, go away. I think this is still just an insanely good spot to be in. I don't even have to minus here because I have Dawn of Hope tokens. Probably shouldn't minus even if that wasn't the case, but it is. And we get the Treasure Cove untapped here. I'd actually be surprised if my opponent swung. Oh wow, they swing. Okay. Wasn't expecting this. I will definitely soak burn. If they're going to throw burn at these tokens, this is fine. Looks like they don't have a burn spell because they let me block first. Yep. Nope, not going to draw. Opponent has had all the burn. We would have been so utterly dead without Lyra. Okay, that was a good draw as well. Let's do this. Alright, Chemisters is good. And make some tokens. I think I might just make 2 tokens instead of Chemisters. I don't know what we're looking for. Opponent is refusing to run out of gas. I am going to double block this, yeah. I'm actually kind of surprised to see the attack. But I guess my opponent isn't getting anywhere not doing this, so kind of have to do this. I could binding this. Like, what else are they doing that's a permanent that we're scared of? This is also the first one of this game, so there's 3 more for them to draw, I believe. Let me check here. No, wait, one got settled, right? This is the game where they got kind of mana screwed at the beginning? Yeah. Or hand screwed, they only had 5 cards. There's not much more there's not many things that I'm scared of above a Runaway Steamkin. And it's in play right now, so I'm just gonna do that. Let's look for the second Teferi. There's only 2 on the deck. There's 3 Lyras. It's also very good. And they finally found the land, so I guess they had to kill Lyra the way they did. Let's crack the clue. Let's make it move. Get the clock ticking here. Mop up our opponent. And this is probably game. Oh, I could just tap the Treasure Cove, actually. I forgot I don't have any treasures anymore. They need Chain Whirler? Oh no, I have a counterspell. Looks like they drew something that I binding, and they're like, oh, I can't cast it. Alright, wow. Ooh. That and Esper, pretty favorable matchups. Mono red, Esper and blue white. They can't really beat everything you're doing. Like, they have a lot of it, and they can draw a lot of cards, but it's hard for them to come back from a sweeper sometimes. That game, they kind of did, actually. They seemed to have enough burn to actually kill us if we didn't have Lyra. Even on a mold of 5. Okay, well, this is bad. Okay, this is almost as good as I could ask for from a 5 land hand. 5 land hand, 5 card hand. Mono blue? Oh no. Okay. Let's leave up Seal Away. Oh, opponent has the auto-wind hand. Let's see, they have reactive stuff in hands? No, they don't actually. If we had a way to kill this, we would have been able to seal away. Okay. There's a land. I guess we're still in it. If we draw another land and they continue to have nothing, which I find extremely unlikely. Now this matchup is very bad. Opponent's not really respecting, well, at least last turn they didn't respect anything, but I wonder if they actually do go for Tempest Gen here. I guess I should have left up a counterspell. Opponent just completely tapped out when I couldn't punish him. Yep, made quick work of us. Molta 5 against Mono Blue with the turn and an opening Curious Obsession. Not really anything I can do about that. Now we have to somehow avoid all the counterspells ever for this Settle the Wreckage, or we lose. Which is possible, but probably not. 5, 6, 7, 8. We can top deck another one and just keep snacking these out. Nope, dead. Fun. Multi 5. Settle seems alright. They have Storm Tamer, so I guess Lyra's good. Teferi's not very good. Devious Cover-Ups is not very good. Binding can be. The 3-minute counter spells, I don't know. I want these bindings, I guess. Negate, probably. I don't know. I really do not like Teferi in this matchup. I don't think that's how I'm winning. Blink of an Eye is a weird one, but I think it'll work. Dawn of Hope, I don't think I can take it out because I still need ways to win the game, even though it's not a very good one. I got to do something. Could justify one Teferi just because of that, but if we like prison our opponent out, maybe they will just concede to the pin. What are we taking out? I think I'm going to take out a Settle the Wreckage because of Storm Tamer. Not many things in my deck target with Blink of an Eye. I mean, with against Dive Down, but I can't. I don't think I'm going to do that. Alright, I'll take out another counterspell. I don't like counterspells or Teferi against Mono Blue. They're doing like both of those things better than you are. Drawing cards better than me, and countering things better than I am. So I can't get into a counter war with them. This hand is pretty much everything I'm asking for except Lyra. I'm going to lead with a treasure map. Mainly because the other ones don't actually do anything. What the? Okay, our opponent revealed the Sphinx to Scry. What does this do? Reveal this in your opening hand at Scry 3 at the beginning of your first upkeep. Okay. So they won't be mana screwed at least this game. It's a pretty powerful effect. Not much downside in this matchup because a 4-mana 4/4 is still pretty good. It's not the best though, obviously. But there's Storm Tamer, so there goes the Settlement Wreckage immediately. Let's play this. We're just trying to avoid a turn 2, whatchamacallit again. Turn 2 auto win. Oh, they don't have it. Another one. Sure. Don't think I'm doing anything else. Opponent probably doesn't even care about this. Trickster, yep. Looking for not you. They probably don't even care about Donovan either. So we played against mono red, now we're playing against mono blue. I wonder what's next. Alright, our opponent actually tapped out. So this is really good. I didn't think binding would do much. But it's pretty life-saving here. They don't really run Blink of an Eye. Although, to be fair, they don't really run Sphinx of Foresight. Okay. If they tap out pre-combat again, I can settle the wreckage them, and Stormtamer will be offline. Another binding. Not the best. I think I'm going to run out Dawn of Hope and try to Blink of an Eye something. Oh, they're going to counter this? I guess that would make sense. It's the only thing that I've presented that's an actual win condition, so. Without this Dawn of Hope, we're just playing defense. I mean, even with it, we're kind of just playing defense. Actually thinking about it. Okay. Can't punish them if they tap out, though. And nothing else I can do with these two untapped lands. Probably just scry a bunch. Make some treasure tokens. Try to Blink of an Eye binding in the same turn. They're really mathing something out here. They think they can beat this, probably. But it's pretty apparent they have a counterspell at this point, I would say. Could be another trickster, or they're just posturing. I'm going to go ahead and say that's not the case. It's probably a Wizard's Retort or a Negate. What are they... What's going on here? If it's a trickster, I think they would have just snapped it off. Right? They're trying to kill me as quickly as possible here. That's the way you do it. They have no cards in their graveyard, so Terramander is miles away from flipping. I wonder what they kept on top with the Scry. Could have just been a land, because they have not played any lands past the third one. Could have just scryed a land to the top and then just never drew another one. They did put two things at the bottom. Wow, they're really thinking about something. I know they were there. They were mousing over things the whole time. And they let the Dawn of Hope resolve. So I don't know what they could have been. They were really stumped on some sort of decision. The only thing I'm thinking of is another trickster and not playing it to play around a sweeper if they don't have an answer to, like a Cleansing Nova. I don't know. There's the land for the Sphinx. Okay. They just don't do anything? Alright, so let's try to Blink of an Eye something? I guess we can Blink of an Eye... No, yeah, I think we kind of have to, actually. Let's see what happens when I do this. Whoops, wrong side. This is me not scrying, but this should work. Be surprised if they don't just let this happen. Okay. An opt on top, very bad news. I'm gonna go ahead and assume there's something dastardly going on in our opponent's hand. To the point where binding won't work. We're not really dead if it doesn't work, though. And it forces them to... Well, I don't want them to cap... Let's just pass. There's a chance I can make a token here. Token and scry. It really depends how they play. Okay, there actually is another trickster. Strange. I don't know why they didn't run it out last turn cycle. Unless they just drew it. But I think they actually just drew a land, so... It looks like it was a trickster that they were stuck on thinking about, but for some weird reason decided not to do it. Okay. And we still didn't avoid the counterspell that they could have. Okay, well they just actually run that out, so that's the counterspell that they need. Um, let's scry, see what's going on before I decide to do something. I need to do something, so we need to do this into top deck Cleansing Nova. And it looks like this is actually the only interactive way to stop the settle. This is why I hated settle, but I really just had nothing else to bring in. Okay. I mean, this might work, right? It's better than banking on looking for Cleansing Nova exactly, so I guess I have to keep this on top. Opponent now can respect it because they saw it, but our opponent's going to have a bunch of mana. There's nothing we can do about... I mean, you can't play around stuff against mono blue. There's actually a fair amount of decision making on my end for this, though. And apparently our opponent, they had a turn where they thought about something there. An Alpha Strike will probably mean they don't care about settle. Okay, if they... okay. So they don't have an answer to this. Otherwise they would have swung all out. What? Why wouldn't you just swing all out? I guess if I had another card to answer that? Like if I cracked these treasures to do something? I don't know, it seems like I probably should have just swung all out if that was the case. I would have swung all out even with one form of interaction. That would have been enough for me. Maybe I'm greedy. Maybe it is just actual overkill to swing all out. You could just swing with two and it would actually take both my cards to stop that anyways. So you'd have to swing for... yeah, so I guess swinging for two makes sense because both my cards have to be impactful that very spot. Because only 2 cards in hand. And they swung with 2 lethal threats. So I couldn't even double like seal away. Keeping it. But just a terrible matchup. Not much can change there. Even well, Esper has like hostage taker and spot removal. We're just like relying on expensive sweepers that probably just won't work ever. Alright, to the extent of our knowledge, this is the mirror, but little do they know, I think I'm in a extremely favorable position, being just blue-white. I was talking about this earlier. I think against Esper, I think blue-white has an insane advantage. Because you just have so many impactful cards. Even game 1. Especially if they have a Chromium. They do not have a Cleansing Nova. I mean a, whatchamacallit, a Chemist's Insight, which is interesting. Okay, let's do this. I'm gonna hope this is just a Teferi list and there's no, like, other nonsense. Now, Mortify makes binding a bit worse, but I think Mortify is still just very good. Body Racer? Nope. Hand does need help, though. And we got the help. We have 2 Devious cover-ups as well, so we can actually shuffle back in more serious action. Well, this is a precog Esper deck. Okay. I haven't seen that in a long time. Search for Escanta? I guess I'll try to fight over it. Works immediately. Blink of an Eye is actually pretty good against a Teferi I would otherwise not have an answer to. I can just, like, bounce it. Opponent is ahead on the cards, though, significantly. We actually have 2 cards that do anything in our hand as well. The fact that they're running precognitive possession is pretty bad for us. Typically, it's just Chemist's Insight. So they probably have less dead cards game 1 than they normally do. Okay. Okay, now they randomly decided to start countering the discard spells, it seems. Oh, never mind. Never mind. Maybe they want to defend it to Fairy? Not sure. Okay. Could try to Cleansing Nova that. I don't know. I don't want to bounce it for no reason. Opponent only has one blue source up, so I imagine this will resolve. Negate? Ugh. Great. I can try to just bounce this, but then we get hit by a Teferi. So, nope. Looks like they have an Escata online. Well, we didn't win game 1, it seems. That's pretty bad. It's usually the game you want to win. Oh, now they go for Teferi. Great.
I know, Virus. Hurry!
They shock themselves? They probably don't even care about this. There's Devious Cover Up. That's not bad. I mean, it's not good. I need help, and that's not enough help. Opponent had the negate right when they needed it, and that's very unfortunate. Mortify doesn't do anything. What do I even put in my deck? Counter spells? That doesn't even seem right. Like, I don't know. I mean, I need actual card draw, and that's not what these do. I guess the Blink of an Eye is innocent. Let me just put that in there. Also, this has to resolve. There's that. Nope. Alright, we're done. Not gonna waste my time. So, blue-white, still pretty favorable. Game 1 is what I really wanted to win, but we didn't. Bring in all this insane nonsense. Take out all the not nonsense. Blink of an Eye, don't think I need it. Settle the Wreckage. I don't think they're going to have a creature. They could, but I'm going to go ahead and say they won't. Could just leave in one Cleansing Nova, if anything, here. Yeah, probably the best of all this here. Sure. Alright. Pretty straightforward. All their counter spells and stuff. Binding's a risky one. I don't know if they're going to take out Mortify. They didn't see any enchantments or creatures from us. This hand is pretty good. This is the matchup I want to see, so it would suck to lose it. No turn 2 discard. Actually, there still could be, and they just didn't have an untapped source. And of course that is the case, because why wouldn't it be? Probably take it to Fairy. Probably. Nothing else seems appealing here. Maybe Binding if they don't have Mortifiers anymore. Nope, to Fairy. Pretty straightforward. Now we need a land. You're not a land. You're not a land. You're a land. Alright, cool. No reason to play this untapped because our opponent has full information. I'm not representing anything. There's no turn 4 punish on Esper. It's just like Chemistry's Insight, and that's about it. Or another discard spell, so now I have no Teferis. Great. Guess I'm scrying on upkeep again. Another Binding, wasn't really what I was looking for. We have no counterspell. Mission Briefing can be a counterspell eventually. I'm gonna just crack a clue to cast Chemisters, because it's kind of doing that anyways off the Treasure Cove. And I need to, like, find things to win this game. Alright, that was good. Let's pass. Opponent's mana screwed, which helped us a lot. They did have a turn 4 Chemisters, but preferred to discard the other Teferi. That makes sense. They just keep top decking discard spells. Alright. Still need help. They get rid of a Ballistica Bellhaunt. I did not expect that post sideboard. I wonder if they have Hostage Taker too. It'd be nice if my opponent win a turn without a discard spell. Though I guess where they have discard spells, we have a million counter spells, so it's a break-even 1-for-1 there anyways. Draw a bunch of cards. Now in this spot I regret not I'm not gonna fight over a Mortify, or really even a counter spell here. Yeah. This would be a spot where I'd wish I had that last treasure token instead of the Chemisters, but in that point I needed help. We don't seem like we're in too bad of a spot. We still have arguably 2 counter spells. Akaya? Did not expect Akaya, but okay. Okay. Oh look, another counter spell. Alright, well, mission briefing doesn't do anything if this resolves, so let's not have that happen. Just negate it again. Another counterspell. That's not bad. I like my whole hand, so guess I won't discard anything to Chemisters. This is a spot where we can actually Binding Teferi, so let's let it resolve.
You know what? I won't hide from the world any longer.
Kind of arguably needlessly risky, but I'm still doing it. They have a Mortify.
Really should have seen that coming.
Can still run this out. Yeah. Let's see how many Mortifies they have. If it's more than... Oh, maybe they don't have a Mortify? Huh. Okay, sure. They just cried 3 to the top? Whoa. What? The boogers is this. They only have 1 untapped blue source. We actually got to safely flip Escanta. That's pretty huge here. I love how the auto tapper no longer taps Escanta. That's nice. It's the only counterspell they could have had because they had 1 blue source, but of course they had it. Looks like they don't have a Mortify though, which is very surprising. If they find one, we're in a bit of a pickle, though. Eldest Reborn. That kind of gets around it, because they can steal our Teferi. That would be definitely another thing I want to... Binding. Oh, they were just waiting for me to do this. Okay, waiting for me to tap out, I guess. So they did have a Mortify, and triple counterspell. That doesn't actually do anything anymore. Okay. Maybe Devious Cover-Up can shuffle in my Teferis or something weird. Another counterspell. Well, my opponent got under the counterspell, so I guess we lose. They don't even have to cast anything anymore, so these counterspells pretty much don't do anything.
Keep up the pace.
Wow. Okay. They have to do something with this Elders Reborn, and the only no, there's Kaya and stuff, so that's not even true. Can we please draw an answer to this? I guess not. Great. They get back Bellhunt. We discard probably Devious Cover-Up. Oh no, they get back Kaya, right. This is a spot where Kaya's not very threatening and extremely slow. Actually, I think I'd deck out before it kill me. But it does stop these chemisters, which is a problem. Alright, you got me. Don't even know what I'm drawing into. I can't believe we got pummeled like that. They just like didn't have to cast a Mortify for like 8 years, and it still didn't matter. Oh, that would have been nice. Oh my god. I mean, it would have been nice if we drew these like just a second earlier, because then we could have stopped all that. Now there's like nothing I can do. I need... Well, that's not it. Oh, come on. Really? Okay. We have what, like 2 turns? 1 turn to stop Teferi? Ensconce is already flipped, so we again another reason that Kai is not very relevant. Them exiling our Teferis is strange. Oh no, we have Devious Cover-Up. That makes sense. Right, yeah. Can shuffle them back in, they don't want that. I guess that was a reason not to show them this, but they wouldn't dictate what they do or don't see there anyways. Nope. Another counterspell? Nope. We had so many counterspells. I can't. My voice keeps cracking. So many counterspells, and it didn't matter. We just drew them all in the wrong time. Like, this should never happen. This is one of the few things our opponent will probably cast in the face of this many counterspells, so let me do this. Shuffle back in our Teferi, binding, binding. And I got one more, so maybe Dawn of Hope, just so I can constantly find it again and stop Teferi from ultimating. Maybe they'll Teferi minus now? That seems a little, not likely. I need to answer Teferi right now. Kaya also kills the tokens, so it's not even the best. It also gets rid of Devious Cover-Up, so I can't go infinite. I do have another one in there somewhere. Nope, more counterspells, but we're past that point. Teferi's not bad. Guess I'll attempt Teferi before I do anything, right? Sure. It immediately resolved. That's nice. Let's get this nonsense out of here. And pass. I did not expect that to happen. I wonder what their hand is. There's not even Vraska's Contempt. Another Teferi? That makes sense. Could be even another Teferi as well. Yep. Can I find anything that's worth looking for right now? I suppose I can. I got the treasure tokens. Didn't hit. Guess I'll put the Dawn of Hope to my hand, though. They can't really minus this, because I'll make a token and kill it.
This isn't a fight you can win.
And plussing gets them closer to their other Teferi that's sitting there. No, they actually still go for the minus. I still don't think I'm going to make a token, though. They didn't have a counter spell, so they know I can just get this right back with my Enscansa. So it was an interesting decision. Okay, let's actually just draw it, shall we? Teferi. I'm gonna plus because their Teferi is so low. What is their Kai at? 7? We have 10 cards. Yeah, that's still not doing anything. Yeah, let's just start plussing Teferi. Screw it.
Keep up the pace.
Another counterspell is huge. And let's pass. Turn this other treasure token into a card, probably. Getting kind of low on cards, though. Gotta be careful. There still is one Devious cover-up left, I believe. There is 2 in the deck, and only 1 has been exiled. Okay. They actually do just cast the other Teferi. So I'm going to let this resolve, because countering a Teferi when there's already one in play doesn't make much sense to me. I'm under the impression they're going to minus. That probably the only thing that would justify actually doing that. And they probably have an army of removal spells for these tokens, but I'm still going to start pumping them out to kill this Teferi. It's only at 1. It'd be nice to kill it without a, whatchamacallit. They could just be on the Kaya plan, but it's just way too slow. Way too slow. Killed Teferi. I think there's only 1 left? I'm not even sure. How many Teferis they got left? Hopefully it's none. No, they got 1 Teferi left. Okay. We have answers to it. I'm done drawing cards because we don't want to deck out. I would like to develop Teferi in the face of looks like no interaction. Yep. So in this spot, we somehow turned the tides quite quickly here. I guess I can minus this? We're at 21 to 24. Sure. Just get rid of it for a second here. It starts dealing with these tokens and I don't want it to. Wow. Okay, so like I said, even in such a terrible spot, our opponent seemed to have ran out of things to do, and we just windmilled a Teferi and it resolved. They just ran out of counterspells. We will not run out of counterspells, but we just need to cast them. They have a lot of discard spells, which is a problem. It means Blink of an Eye has some value. Here we can undo a resolved threat that we can deal with maybe later. Resetting Teferi seems nice. They're going to change up how they sideboard, definitely. They did not see Lyra. I still don't think I like it here. This Cleansing Nova is iffy, but it keeps some crazy shenanigans from killing us out of nowhere. But maybe it could just be a blink of an eye. No, I think I like it the way it is. Opponent's going to bring Mortifies back in. No, wait, they didn't take them out, right? Because that was the game they actually surprise mortified us when I was convinced they finally did not have one. they played one. This hand is bad. This hand is not as bad. I don't want that land. Don't arrest me. Okay. Don't thought eraser me. And this game is over. They see we have nothing. They take Dawn of Hope, so we can't cast it next turn. They keep the card on top. Everything is as bad as it possibly can be. Oh, okay. At least their turn 4 is just a Chemisters or more discard. It's not Teferi. Oh look, it's a Chemisters in sight. Opponents had the perfect Esper curve, save the Unmoored Ego. They actually don't have a Teferi though, so that's good. Let this resolve immediately. Clickety click, 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 click. That's alright. Mission briefing's decent here. Opponent has so many card draw spells. Oh my god. Those precognitive processions are so damn good. No reason to mission briefing. Yeah, not really. Could just do it to like find a... I don't even know. I can't fight over this, because then we lose to Teferi. And that's no bueno. We don't have mana to... We don't have 6 mana for double negate with the mission briefing. So we need our opponent to not do anything in the same turn they go for Teferi. Which I find extremely unlikely. This I think I will negate. It could just be a bait for a Teferi. I can't beat this though. It doesn't look like it's a bait spell. Looks like they're going to fight over it. That's at least some good news there. This won't be Teferi in the same turn. But now I can't deal with this, and it's going to flip, and then we lose. So can I do anything? I can't mission briefing for anything to stop this. So I can. It would be the one Cleansing Nova, but that's not feasible. Because then I'm tapped out. And there's only one copy of it, so that's not worth it. Well, now they have all the gas, and we don't. Ballistic of Belhot? Sure, let's fight over that. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Those are all fairly good top decks, so... Oh look, it's a Teferi. This is why we kept the negate in the thing there. I don't think I want the treasure map. It's actually not bad here. Could just go Teferi treasure map. Maybe that's good enough. Yeah, fine. Get this negate. Negate Teferi. Play Teferi. Plus into card we know about. Which isn't the best one, but I think it's how we keep up with the Riscanta. And I don't expect Teferi, Teferi to stick around. I find that very unlikely. They even have Eldritch Reborn, and they've seen pretty much half their deck at this point. They will see half their deck if they activate Riscanta. And there it is, to the surprise of no one. And a hostage taker. So there goes my treasure map. Wow. Okay. That doesn't do anything anymore. Hostage taker, huh? Huh. So now we need... Okay. I don't even know what we need now. Well, that wasn't it. Discard the land to this? Sure. Wow. Our opponent had a weird game plan, but it looks like it's going to work out. I did not expect or foresee playing against Esper that has Eldritch Reborn. Thief of Sanity expected. Hostage Taker not so much. Belhaunt coming in was surprising as well. Precognitive Possession keeping them up with cards I did not expect either. Binding. Okay, so we can binding this, and then they Teferi minus it, and then we lose. Or we can binding this and get hit by Thief of Sanity and lose that way. Alright, I'd rather lose the third way by clicking that button. Well, we didn't win the matchup that I said was favorable and good, which is very unfortunate. Our opponent had a lot more card draw than the typical Esper deck did. Wow, I didn't even break even. Dang. Maybe it was better. Actually, to be fair, could have just been better as a Nexus deck in that spot. Like, obviously, there's a lot of spots in that game you saw we had the mana to cast Nexus, and any point we did on their turn was just backbreaking for them because they wouldn't be able to. Like, you're taking 2 turns to their 1, and that's just really good. Just as a value card. Even with more counter spells, I guess I would have preferred these to be Nexus of Fates and what else? Whoops. Like, we should be able to beat their discard spells, like just by having more counter spells than they can deal with, but They had precognitive possession, and they could keep up with us in cards. It wasn't just chemisters. That's crazy. And they successfully flipped an Escata that I couldn't counter. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Well, thanks for watching, and I've learned a lot that game, let me tell you. Should have been able to do something there, because last time I was playing against this, it was like no contest against Hesper. Oh well. You live and learn. See you guys next time.